Geography, India population. In which states of India does half of India's population live? Almost half of India's population lives in Uttar Pradesh, Maharashtra, Bihar, West Bengal, and Andhra Pradesh. How is density of population calculated? The population density is calculated as the total number of persons living per square kilometer area. Why do some states of India have sparse population? Rugged terrain and unfavorable conditions are primarily responsible for sparse population in some states of India. Why do northern plains and Kerala have very high density of population? Northern plains and Kerala have a high density of population because of flat plains with fertile soils and abundant rainfall. Why do most of the peninsula states have moderate population? Most of the peninsula states have moderate population because of hilly and rocky nature of the terrain, moderate to low rainfall, shallow and less fertile soils. What does growth of population mean? Growth of population refers to the change in the number of inhabitants of a country during a specific period of time, say during the last 10 years. How do we get absolute increase in number of population? It is obtained by simply subtracting the earlier population from the later population. It is referred to as absolute increase. How is annual growth rate calculated? The difference between birth rate and death rate gives us annual growth rate. What is the impact of migration on population? Migration plays very important role in changing the composition and distribution of population. Normally it adds to the population. It also changes population's composition of urban and rural division in terms of age and sex composition. In which category are children below 15 years counted? Children are economically unproductive and need to be provided with food, clothing, education, and medical care. So they are counted in dependent population. What is the age of working population in India? Working population is aged between 15 to 59 years. They are economically productive and biologically reproductive. What is NPP? NPP is National Population Policy of 2000, a comprehensive family planning program initiated by Government of India. Who are adolescents? Adolescents are generally grouped in the age group of 10 to 19 years. How proportion of people working in different activities varies in developed and developing countries. Developed nations have a high proportion of people in secondary and tertiary activities, whereas developing countries tend to have higher population of their workforce engaged in primary activities. What can be the reasons for the declining death rate in India? The substantial improvement in the result of many favors, including improvement in public health, prevention of fatal diseases, and application of medical practices. What is migration? Which are two types of migrations? Describe the trends of migration in India. Migration is the movement of people across regions and territories. Migration can be internal and international. In India, most migrations have been from rural to urban areas because of the push factor in rural areas. These are adverse conditions of poverty and unemployment in the rural areas and the pull of the city in terms of increased employment opportunities and better living conditions. What is census? When was the first census held in India? Which type of information can we get through census? A census is an official enumeration of population done periodically. In India, the first census was held in the year 1872. The first complete census, however, was taken in the year 1881. Since then, the censuses have been held regularly every 10th year. The Indian census is the most comprehensive source of demographic, social, and economic data. What do you know about the size and distribution of India's population on the basis of 2011 census? According to the census of 2011 data, Uttar Pradesh, with a population size of 199 million people, is the most populous state of India. The Himalayan state of Sikkim has a population of just about 0.6 million, and Lakshadweep has a population of only 64,429 people. Almost half of India's population lives in just 5 states: Uttar Pradesh, Maharashtra, Bihar, West Bengal, and Andhra Pradesh. Rajasthan, the biggest state in terms of area, has only 5.5% of total population of India. What do you mean by growth of population? How is it calculated? Growth of population or population growth refers to the change in the number of inhabitants of a country during a specific period of time, say during the last 10 years. It can be expressed in two ways: absolute numbers. It is obtained by simply subtracting the earlier population from the later population. It is referred to as absolute increase. Annual growth rate, when the rate or pace of population is studied in percent or per annum and increase is 2%. That is, there was an increase of 2 persons for every 100 persons in the base population. This is referred to as annual growth rate. What are the three broad categories of division of population on the basis of their economic structure? Children below 15 years, they are economically unproductive and need to be provided with food, clothing, education, and medical care. Working age group 15 to 59 years, they are economically productive and biologically reproductive. They comprise the working population. Age between 59 years and above, they can be economically productive, though they may have retired. They may be working voluntarily, but they are not available for employment through recruitment. What is the importance of people in this world? People are important for the development of the economy and society. People make use of resources. They themselves are also resources, but with varying qualities. Coal is a piece of rock. Until people are able to invent technology to obtain it and make it a resource. How is population a pivotal element in social studies? It is the point of reference from where all other elements are observed. Resources, calamities, disasters, all the meaningful only in relation to human beings. Good health is related to a disease-free population, and a healthy population is always an asset to a country. What is density of population? Give India's population distribution by density with the reasons responsible for the same. Density of population is calculated as the number of persons per unit area. The population density of India in 2011 was 382 persons per square kilometer. Regions with sparse population density. Rugged terrain and unfavorable climatic conditions are primarily responsible for sparse population in areas, for example, Jammu Kashmir, Arunachal Pradesh, and Mizoram. Regions with moderate population density, hilly, dissected, rocky nature of terrain, moderate to low rainfall, shallow and less fertile soils have influenced the population densities in these areas, for example, Assam and peninsular states. Regions with high density of population. These areas have high population density because of the flat plains with fertile soils and abundant rainfall, for example, northern plains and Kerala. What are the three main determinants of density of population in India? There are several factors responsible for fluctuating the density of population. Out of them, following are the major three factors attributing to variations at large: physical factors, The area uninhabitable to human beings are responsible for lowering down the density of population thereon. For example, hot tropical deserts like the Thar Desert of Rajasthan, the tropical rainforest and rugged mountains of northeast India. In these areas, there is low density of population, contrary to it coastal lands, river valleys, and fertile soil lands have high density of population. For example, Uttar Pradesh, Maharashtra, Bihar, and West Bengal. Human factors. Human factors include the establishment of manufacturing industries, excavation of mines. These attract the people to come and settle there, and thus the population density of the industrial area spurts. For example, Delhi, Mumbai, Jharkhand, etc. The density of population is high in these regions because of a number of manufacturing industries established there. What are the advantages of having a healthy population? Health is an important component of population composition which affects the process of development of a country. Sustained efforts of government programs have registered significant improvement in the health conditions of the Indian population. Good public health facilities provide preventive measures in advance to eradicate diseases. The government of India should concentrate more on public health so that we have healthy productive workers. This will help in the development of country. The substantial improvement is the result of many factors including improvement in public health, prevention of infectious diseases and application of modern medical practices in diagnosis and treatment of ailments. Cities are growing faster than the capacity of the economy to support them. Explain its effects. There is growth of population in cities day by day, leading to continuation of demand of basic necessities. More the population, more the needs of residential area. Population also needs to have better roads and better means of transportation. Basic needs of water and electricity are also there. With the increase of population, a scarcity of both water and electricity increases. Growing population also asks for more jobs, whereas unemployment increases with increase in population. Why has the rate of population growth in India been declining since 1981? Due to greater use of birth control measures, the rate of population growth has been declining. Discuss the major components of population growth. The major components of population growth are birth rate. It is the number of live births per thousand persons in a year. It is a major component of growth because in India, birth rates have always been higher than the death rates. Death rate. It is the number of deaths per thousand persons in a year. The main cause of the rate of growth of the Indian population has been the rapid decline in the death rate. Migration. Migration is the movement of people across regions and territories. Migration can be internal or international. The difference between birth rate and death rate accounts for natural increase in population. Immigration refers to the inflow of people into a region from other regions. Define age structure, death rate and birth rate. The age structure of a population refers to number of people in different age groups in that population. Birth rate is the number of live births per thousand persons in a year. Death rate is the number of deaths per thousand persons in a year. How is migration a determinant factor of population change? Migration is the movement of people across regions and territories. It is a determinant factor of population change as it changes the demographics, size, and composition of both the areas of departure and arrival. There are two types of migrations, internal and international. What is the relation between population structure, occupational structure and development? Occupational structure of the population is interconnected with development. When higher number of people of a country are involved in primary occupation like animal husbandry, fishing, forestry, agriculture, the country is considered to be underdeveloped. Development takes place where more number of people work in secondary occupations like manufacturing, whereas when high percentage of people are involved in tertiary occupations like banking, commerce, transport, and administration, it makes the society highly developed. What are the advantages of having a healthy population? The advantages of having a healthy population are a healthy individual is much more efficient and productive than an unhealthy individual. He or she is able to realize his or her potential and plays an important role in social and national development. Absenteeism is low where the workers are healthy. What are the significant features of National Population Policy of 2000? The significant features of National Population Policy of 2000 are as follows: imparting free and compulsory school education up to 14 years of age, reducing infant mortality rate below 30 per 1000 live births, achieving universal immunization of children against all vaccine preventable diseases, promoting delayed marriage and childbearing, making family welfare a people centered program, providing nutritional services and good supplement to adolescents, protecting adolescents from unwanted pregnancies and sexually transmitted diseases and educating them about the risks of unprotected sex, making contraceptive services accessible and affordable. Important terms: population, all the inhabitants of a particular place; calamities, an event causing great and often sudden damage or distress or disaster. Annual growth rate is the change in the value of a measurement over a period of year. Birth rate, the number of live births per thousand population per year. Density, the degree of compactness of a substance. Death rate, the ratio of deaths to the population of a particular area or during a particular period of time, usually calculated as the number of deaths per 1000 people per year. Internal migration refers to people within a country moving to another location within its borders. International migration refers to act of migration across borders from one country to another. Migration is seasonal movement of animals from one region to another. Literacy rate refers to quality or state of being literate, especially ability to read and write, or it is the percentage of people who are able to read and write versus those who are not. Primary activities of economy are sectors of an economy making direct use of natural resources. These include agriculture, forestry, fishing, and mining. Secondary activities produce manufactured goods, and the tertiary sector provides services. Tertiary activity is the segment of an economy that provides services to its consumers. This includes a wide range of businesses such as financial institutions, schools, and restaurants. Adolescence is the process of developing from a child into an adult. Census is an official enumeration of population done periodically.